animal fat, all those diseases disappear. Just like that. Because God can't lie. He said it in the Bible, and he said it in the writing of Ellen G. White. Now it says, Exodus 15:24, these are the promises. 7:12, verse 15, Leviticus 7. God is saying that if you obey me, none of those diseases, I'm going to bless you. None of the disease. Diabetes is not a new disease. The Egyptians were filled with diabetes. There is not one new disease on the earth. As a matter of fact, in Deuteronomy chapter 30, God says, even the disease that I don't write about in the book, I'm going to put them on you if you don't obey me. So, take for example, AIDS. AIDS is not a disease. Did I say that a while ago? AIDS is not one disease, it's many. AIDS is at least 29 diseases inside your body. Because it's man-made. Because there's no new disease. The Bible says there's nothing new under the sun. I'd rather to believe the Bible than to believe anybody. Ebola. It's not new. It's genetically modified where they take one disease and make another disease and split it and they give it a name. That's all they've done. Man can't, we have no originality. None. So this is how you deal with inflammation. So what you find is the first step, you have reactive oxygen free radical. Then these are created in your body. Now you have what is called the SOD, which is a superoxide dismutase enzyme, which is a natural enzyme that's actually in the human body. God placed it there because God knew that we're going to need help. But you're going to learn something most beautiful. God don't tell man to do nothing. And you know that God can't curse nobody really, Pastor? I'm learning that. Because every curse that God curses, he intends for a blessing. Because if God say you're cursed, God is hoping that you will turn.
Wow.
And did you know that you can't really make no sacrifice for God? Because everything that a sacrifice means that you have to give up something that worth something, and nothing that I have worth anything.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that? So all I'm doing is showing my appreciation for what God has given.
Wow. Oh, yes. Yes.
So don't think of your life as being a sacrifice when you're a Christian. That's why Paul said, I counted, but done. Read the Bible. That's what these guys are trying to tell us. So it shows you how oxygen, oxygen peroxide, they sell it and you use it to clean your mouth because it kills bacteria. Oxygen peroxide can cure cancer, but you have to buy the food grade oxygen, 35%, because cancer can only grow in an acid environment. So when you take it in the right dosage under supervision, it oxygenates the body. As a matter of fact, in Jamaica, and probably over here, who has swimming pool at their house? Anybody have swimming pool? Have a swimming pool? What do you use for the chlorine?
Chlorine.
Yeah.
Chlorine.
Sounds like a stupid question, right?
Yes.
But what's the name of the product? What's the ingredients?
Oxygen.
Alright, next time you look at it, pool shot. When you buy a pool shot,
Yeah, they have a pool shop.
the ingredients will say calcium hypochlorite. Now, calcium hypochlorite is not bleach, but they sell it under the topic of bleach, but it's not bleach, it's not chlorine. When you take calcium hypochlorite and put it in water, it converts into hypochlorous acid. It's not bleach. And hypochlorous acid is actually in your body already. It's what the immune system uses to fight. So what am I getting at? Bleach can kill any bacteria, any virus. So what am I saying? It's saying, oh God, should I say it? Let me throw this out there. I'm not saying to joke, but what I'm trying to explain to you, please, when you come to these seminars that I'm conducting under the Spirit of God, come with a clear mind, because the whole purpose is to re-educate you.
Amen.
Because our education has been bamboozled.
Yeah.
The calcium hypochlorite When it goes into the body, it doesn't turn into chlorine. It doesn't behave. Chlorine is a different substance. It's called sodium hypochlorite. And it functions two different chemicals. Function two different ways. One harms the body and one doesn't. When you use calcium hypochlorite, turns into hypochlorous acid, then it goes into the body, it just separates and comes into the water. Does no harm, it strengthens the immune system. There's my wife, I take it. Her uncle suffered with prostate cancer. I give it to him, he said he can't use the bathroom. He called me back, oh, I'll keep going. And I say, just stop now. Because if you have cancer, you have to keep using the bathroom every day. And if you're not using every day, give yourself enema. Because every day you have to take an enema to help get yourself better. Skip, my brother. Oh, fantastic. Now, this is the antioxidant. Here is Jesus for you. Jesus gave his life, right? And died for us. Oh, is Jesus dead?
No.
That's antioxidant. Here you have what is called a free radical. And you can see an electron is missing here. If the electron is missing, this becomes unstable. And it goes in the body and destroys everything that it catches. That's what happens inside the body. Here is Jesus with all his glory surrounding him. And what Jesus do? Jesus lent one of his attributes to us. Love. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish. That's the gospel right there. Then, I love God because he first loved me. So Jesus give you an electron. You are no longer, this free radical is no longer a free radical. It moves away and becomes a normal molecule. And Jesus remains being Jesus. And he doesn't become a free radical. He remains holy. So Jesus gives us his life. And we're no longer seen in God's eyes as how he saw us before.
Amen.
We are born again, sons of God, to receive power and honor and glory, to become equal with the angels at the appropriate time.
Wow.
Skip, please. We need the maximum antioxidants. So what do you find now? Though there are chemicals in your body that actually help us to fight off, like the glutathione, you can get that to buy as a supplement, but you can create it in your own body by eating a lot of cruciferous vegetables. Cruciferous vegetables are like the broccolis, the kales, the pak choy, the cabbage, the collard greens. Just by eating them or juicing them, when you cook them, don't cook them till they go, stop. Keep the crunch in it. Or you juice them, but if you're juicing them, don't do it too often because it can create gout because it messes with the thyroid and if you keep drinking too often. So you can do like 1 week and then break off for 2 weeks and then start again. So we need our own top-ups. So let me show you what I mean. Skip. So these are understanding of the groundwork. The groundwork for you to understand that God intended us to be healthy. So what you find, antioxidant defense and a combination of dietary and food. So you have your own antioxidant in your body, but you also have to top up. Yeah? Then this, I'm trying to break it down as simple as, this is a chemical in the body. Skip the next please and you're going to see how it actually works. So there it is. And what you find, when you go through a process that is called oxidative stress, which free radicals can put you in, then you have this. Under injured circumstances, they appear and help the body to get back stronger. But look at how it works even more powerful and more potent. You have here quercetin, which is a chemical that you find in berries and different fruits and vegetables. And then you have curcumin, which you find in turmeric. Powerful plant. When you take those into your body, it increases your healing potential. It increases the fighting capacity of the body and the cells to survive under any condition. But when it's not there, you will still get help, but it's limited. Turmeric. Curcumin is a chemical antioxidant that's in turmeric. It's the main antioxidant. And what I've learned, science, you find a plant and they say the plant have 800 chemicals, and they only study 2, and they pull it out and they brag and they sell it. And they say this is the best chemical in the plant. And they don't know nothing about the rest of the chemical in the plant. So you basically just take the whole plant and buy supplements. I don't buy supplements, I make my own supplements. And I put them in capsule and I give them to anybody that I have. And I make them and I drink them every morning. Just quick to just share. Before I got married to my wife, period pain, liquor, left, right, center, till she really cried. Tears. I want to cry too. Serious. And all I gave to her was the thing where they take and eat Haga Jamaica, Noonie.
Noni. Yes, the noni juice.
With June plum and ginger. When her period comes, she don't even know. No pain. Everything that we go through, food can help. So what you have here now,
They have to be
besides, and follow this carefully, I'm going to read all of it. It says, besides the predisposing causes like the curse of sin and heredity, all disease including cancer, MS, diabetes, coronary heart failure, even depression, etc., etc., you can name them, manifest in our bodies simply because there is not a proper ratio of natural resources like water, oxygen, carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, mineral energies that plants, animals, and humans need to function properly. Where do we get our minerals from? From our food. Where does the plant get it from? From the earth. Where does the animal get it from? From the food. But most people like this, what they call the second hand. They eat the animal. After the animals don't use everything already.
Yeah.
I'm going to share one passage with you. Jeremiah, I don't remember exactly where it's taken from, but in the book of Jeremiah. Just as about the way they leave, the people came to Jeremiah and said, Jeremiah, go and talk to God first. We are thinking about going up to Egypt, but before we go, we want to hear what God says. And if you go and pray for us, whatever God tells us, we're going to do it. Anything God tells you, you're going to do. Jeremiah pray, and God tells Jeremiah, tell them don't go nowhere, stay put. So Jeremiah come back, what cuss Jeremiah? Allah, you are tell. I know God tell you no. Baruch tell you if you tell me. I can't. That's exactly how we are. It's not a joke, it's serious.
It's true.
I offer a service in Jamaica, and you know how, this is what I work otherwise, but this is what I want to do full time. This is what I used to do full time in London. And God tell me, don't charge no consultation fee. It's the gospel. So anybody come and see me, I don't charge it. God tell me, so I said, God, how am I going to charge the people? And he says, this is how you're going to charge them. And he took me to the sanctuary. And he said, this is going to charge the people. When you have the rich people, they bring a calf. When you have the poor person, or middle class, bring a lamb. When you have a poor man, they bring 2 turtle dove. When you have a person who knows nothing, you bring a handful of flour.
Amen. Yes,
and sacrifice. Salvation was offered. Sacrifice was made. God accepted their offering.
Yes.
So God tell me, a person who's not working, never turn him away. A person who, it's my wife, every week I take out at least $3,000 or $5,000 of money, put aside to support people who I'm treating with HIV. And 3 persons diagnosed with HIV. 1, 14 years now, going 10 to 14 years. 1, I don't know exactly how much, but she's in a very bad state. And the other one, recent, probably about a year, and she has no more symptoms. And I'll tell you what I do. Because it can be easily cured. They're just scaring us to let you think disease can be cured. No more symptoms. None. And hopefully by God's grace, in another 3-4 months, she'll be alright. Because of God, not because of me.
Amen. Amen.
It says, what am I saying? I am simply saying the majority of disease which we have been and still suffering under have been created by ignorance of our own organic law. Laws that would keep a balance between the non-nutritive and the nutritive elements, especially of the most predominant alkalizing minerals in the human body: calcium, phosphorus, potassium, sodium, chlorine, magnesium, sulfur, and iron. So now you see why the chart that I showed you about the non-nutritive and the nutritive comes important. Because then if you know, say, calcium is the most important element in your body, or the one that's most predominant. And learn this, most predominant doesn't necessarily mean most important. Because you have trace minerals that if they're not present, you're in trouble. So it's our duty to understand. And energy, what says it? You know it. That's why I know. Nobody can tell me about Daniel only ate the vegetables because the king provided him with these meat. No. Daniel was a vegetarian before he left Judah.
Exactly.
I'm not asking you.
It's true.
I don't need you to verify it for me. The Spirit of God tells me. And I know for a fact. So if God tells me, that's it. Story done.
Yes. Amen.
There's no more. Daniel was a vegetarian before he left. All I know that because every parent, a godly parent, had to teach their children about their body.
Amen.
And how to keep their body.
Yes.
If they weren't a godly parent, they don't learn those things.
True.
So that these men knew the effect of what he would do to their mind. That's why Daniel could bravely say, give it 10 days. You think Daniel was guessing, oh, God, 10 years or 20 years, oh, let me see, 10 years. No, Daniel knew.
Yes.
Experience.
Yes. That makes sense.
It says, an imbalance in the most alkalizing minerals in the human body cause toxin waste from normal cellular metabolism and other external poisonous substances to accumulate in the body. Now, over time, the extracellular environment of the body begins to affect the intracellular components. So you have the extracellular and intracellular, simply meaning that outside of the cell and the inside of the cell. Now the outside of the cell affects how the inside of the cell function. Now you have what is called sodium-potassium pump. All the cells in your body have that sodium-potassium pump. So just a quick, which is going to be discussed in another topic. So come out and buy the CD from Pastor. So potassium, sodium-potassium pump. People suffering high blood pressure, and they keep giving them beta blocker. AC blocker, AC converter blocker. Yeah, blocker, inhibitor, same thing.
ABC inhibitor.
Why? If you have high blood pressure, what you find is that the sodium, the body retains water and locks onto sodium, because sodium and water have a close affinity. Your blood pressure goes up naturally. And potassium is pushed out. But if you increase potassium, the blood pressure goes.
Yeah, but you're excreting more fluid.
Increase potassium, your blood pressure just goes straight back down because it brings back the balance between that which control high blood pressure. And there are other elements that are involved in high blood pressure. And tomorrow night, that's what I'll discuss about. High blood pressure, we look at it. You're going to see pictures, you're going to see, you're going to bring your books, write down these words, go home, Google them, get the meaning, and understand for yourself. And then, so you have what is called oxygen, radical absorbance capacity. It's a man-made thing. They try to test how much antioxidants is in a plant. Skip. And then they give you a list. And this is the oldest, because I made this presentation when I was in England. So this is the old list. You know, what do you call it? All the herbs that you use to cook, like the thyme and the basil and the celery. They have more nutrients than the food you eat. They have more nutrients than the food you eat.
They have what?
They have more nutrients than the food you eat. So 1 teaspoon of thyme, throw it down, full your belly, it full the cell belly, and protect the cell.
You don't cook it.
I eat them every day, small I tell you.
And you eat them in your
Raw.
salad?
I make them in the capsules. So I buy them in powder form. My wife hates the taste, and I just throw them in my mouth and water. I know it's
Water is not easy.
no, I don't. It's raw. Everything raw. So I buy them in powder form. Or if I don't buy them in powder form, I still have it, but because I'm in Jamaica now, it doesn't. The power that it has in Jamaica is different from the one in England.
Yes.
So it goes very slow. So I used to blend them out myself with the powder. And put them into capsule and use them. So you have, or you can just soak them in water. Don't cook the water, just soak them in water. And once you soak them in the water, just drink the water the next morning. And you get the nutrients from it. Because you have water soluble vitamins. And water is a solvent. Water is a solvent. And you have water. Don't go to the shop and buy any of the what do you call it? Extra, because they're loaded with alcohol. And we are Seventh-day Adventists, we're not supposed to drink alcohol, period. And that's another topic. Because there's one topic, if the Spirit bids me, lost in exegesis. Simple means that you have words that we don't know now that existed in Hebrew. In our Bible, we only see wine. But in Hebrew, they have different words for wine. And so, when they said wine, they knew what wine they were talking about. If it's wine with alcohol, or wine that is strong drink, or wine that is sweet on the grapevine. But in our Bible, we just see wine. So we see some passages say drink wine, and some passages say don't drink wine, and we think, okay, you can drink it sometime or you can't. No. If God said no one time, God will change.
Amen.
If God said no. Time bless. So you have one herb, clove. You know clove?
Yes.
The brown thing.
Yes.
It's the most powerful antioxidant. It has so much antioxidant, more than all the foods you can probably think of. All the blueberries you can go and buy. Don't buy the powder. Powder it yourself. Don't cook with it. Why I say no, I used to cook with it. But when I read it in the writings of the woman servant of the Lord, it says don't cook with it. And not only that, experience other people that have given it to, how it let them feel when they cook with it, or use it raw. The best way to use it is to soak it in water and then drink the water. Clove. Put the clove in water. Don't. Yeah. So what you can do, you can boil the water, turn off the pot, drop the cloves in it, and it draws it out, and just leave it. Then you drink the water. And it's good for more ulcers. Dentists use it.
Yes.
Or you can buy the essential oil and take a drip on their tongue or put it in some water or some juice. So one of the things I'm going to do, skip. I think that's it, right? So this is where we close off. One of the things I'm going to do, I brought up some of my supplements from Jamaica. Not to sell, I'm giving them away. I brought about 7 bottles. I'm not sure. About 7 bottles, along with a special blend of my own essential oils, which it's a thing that God gave me. It's called the Mark. Hey, Pastor, you know the God really good. My name is Marvin Perkins, right? And long when I was in England, I said, because I had some friends in Spain, I didn't want them to track me down. Because I was living in Spain for about 2.5 years because of job. And I said, okay, I don't want them to track me down, so let me just short my name. I said, Mar-Per. So Mar-Per, M-A-R, and then P-E-R. And then I said, I'm tired of working for people, man. I need to do something to generate some funds, but at the same time, help me to do what I love to do. And then I said, well, what would I call the product? And I said, healing. But that's such a common name. Let me find a Hebrew word for healing. And I think I find one named Rapha, and then I find another one named Marpe. I said, Marpe. And everybody are telling him, oh, it's because of your name. It's nothing to do with my name. It means healing. And my name is Marvin Perkins, and I changed it from Marvin Perkins to Marper, and God just cut it and take off the R and said, just put them together. I get Marpe. Healing. And so I made a protocol that's called the Marpe Protocol. And the Marpe Protocol can let me quote what the Bible says. I'm paraphrasing. Psalms 105. Is it 105, brother? Verse 3. When it tells you that I'm not embarrass myself. Psalms 100 and yeah, 5 verse 3, Father? No. 103. That's see? Blessed 103. I'm reading from verse 1 to verse 5. Bless the Lord, O my soul, all that is within me. Bless his holy name. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits. Who forgive all thine iniquities, who heal all thy diseases. Back up. Who heals some of your diseases? I have AIDS, Pastor. Come pray for me. And Pastor, shy away. But God says he can heal all. If I can't turn to my pastor, who is a minister, to intercede on my behalf, because that's what you preached this morning eloquently. Joseph get the priest to educate the people. That's the priest's job. And you said that's what the church should be doing now, and that's what the church is doing, because that's what I heard you've been doing leading up to all this. So, the first protocol of anybody that is sick is the church.
That's right.
Any disease. And that is why Ellen G. White says, ministers must study health message.
Yes.
The ministers must practice health message. Why? Because it's, when you do that, you're following exactly what Jesus does.
Amen.
Jesus healed before he preached.
Amen.
Read the Bible. If I'm lying, don't let me start tomorrow another night, Pastor. Is it true?
Is it true? Yeah, it's true.
So, but I can't, but it's not every pastor who is, remember, we must bear in mind that there are different gifts, and it's not given to everybody. So pastor might have preaching. So nobody said because pastor don't do health message now, he's not a servant of God. No. Gifts are given to everybody.
Yes.
But the problem is, you have some pastors do not encourage health message in their church.
True. Amen.
And because they don't encourage it, the people who are there who would like to know it get discouraged of getting involved in it.
True, that's true.
But thank God you guys have a good pastor
Amen.
who see the need of these things.
Amen. Amen.
But the responsibility is on you to know for yourself.
True.
So what you will find, this is just a brief, quick jump into what we're going to do. It's going to get deeper. So please bring your pen, bring your paper, go back home, and then do your own research. And if I'm a liar, come back and say, Brother Perkins, shut up, you're lying. And if I'm telling the truth, change your lifestyle. Make a paradigm shift.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Question each night.
Yes. So this, I'm moving into the question section now to close. So any question pertaining to that which we just discussed. Because if you ask a question, then you're taking it somewhere else. But I'll entertain one or two.
One?
No, I said I entertain one or two questions that are not pertaining to our discussion. Because it might have any question. Go ahead.
I'm trying to remember the name.
She need a mic.
No, she don't mind. It's okay. It's called sarcoidosis. Sarcoidosis. Yes, sarcoidosis. It's the inflammation of the lung. Like and it's not just the lung. It's any part of the body that can be inflamed. But the person is having it's the lung. It's attacking, right? It's a relative of mine is in England. It's attacking the lungs.
What is attacking the lungs?
The illness, what they diagnosed him with. Sarcoidosis. Thank you. Sarcoidosis. That's the way to say it. And it's attacking his lungs. So I was wondering, what would you suggest for him? And of course, they want to put him on steroids.
Tonight,
Right.
But he did say we'll take
that's the only thing they
Huh?
offer for that sarcoidosis.
So what you find now?
Says the lung.
I'm a simple man. Glory, hallelujah.
Amen.
And you know what scientists are famous for? Giving name to things. So I couldn't even pronounce today, but she called a while ago. But understanding, if she's saying that it's the lungs, then it's similar to pneumonia. Because pneumonia is
like
mucus build up in the lungs. And when you determine if it's attacking you, I don't understand.
Is it okay?
He's feeling pain.
Pain and trouble breathing,
Trouble breathing.
pain.
Okay.
A lot of pain. It started with pain.
Right.
Where it's
So therefore, there are a lot of herbs, Pastor. What God showed me is sometimes when God showed me, I get vexed because there's a passage in the Bible says knowledge increase and you start paying you more. Because when you see what's happening,
yeah.
I get vexed when God shows me some stuff. Because I'm saying, is it, you know how, I'm going to answer you, but I'm just, the first book I took up was to do with the body. Was probably about in 2000. I've always been a vegetarian growing up from the age of 17. And then stopped eating meat when I migrated and all flesh at the age of 25. And now I'm 42.
What?
So, they, where was I? Let me answer your question. So, inflammation is good for the body. Now, if the person has inflammation in the lungs, yeah, takes me back to what I was saying. God showed me all the trees that you can think of: mango tree, apple tree, banana tree, pear tree, all the fruit trees, and some of the evergreen tree, oak tree. All the barks can be eaten, and they're also good for respiratory problems. So I can write you out something that the person could use
Yes,
for respiratory problems.
Thank you.
So all those, and they're also antiviral because they're rich in a chemical that's called tannin, and tannin is something that can actually kill virus. In Brazil, they don't tell you. In Brazil, a tree that's a plant that's called matumba. Pronounce it right?
Yes, sir.
They use it to cure AIDS. 100%. AIDS, HIV, in Brazil. Yes.
The hydrogen peroxide,
Correct.
which is the
Food grade. Which would be at 35%.
35%.
The food grade, yeah.
But it can be very acidic. How do you dilute?
Right.
Ratio.
Good.
Ratio.
So how would you use it? How you?
It is suggested
Right.
that you use one eye drop.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But some people, the stomach cannot tolerate the acidity
Of the
of the drop.
right. Okay. The hydrogen peroxide. There are two ways I'll explain. A drop. You drop it into some coconut oil as a carrier, so it doesn't damage the air.
Okay.
So you use it as a carrier. So you add it to some olive oil, coconut oil, extra virgin olive oil, extra virgin coconut oil. You take it out with it. Or you can have something that is called DMSO, which is dimethyl sulfoxide, which is a chemical that if you rub it on your skin, it goes straight into your bloodstream immediately. So you could drop it into a quarter teaspoon of that and just rub it, don't take it, just rub it on your chest and go straight to your body and go straight into the system.
Okay.
Just like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I like it.
And the question from Dana, the sarcoidosis, it's not only an inflammation, it's sores on the lungs.
Okay.
It's a lot of sores
All right.
on the lungs. And you get where you can't breathe,
Okay.
you have this constant cough,
Right.
and it's a horrible thing
Okay.
to see somebody go through that. I have a son with that.
No.
He came down, he's 33, he came down with that disease 2 years ago. And the doctor said there's no cure for that. The only thing the doctor offered is steroid.
Okay.
So he didn't take that. We get him some cleanse and that have him kind of, patched up right now.
So the steroids help him to ease the pain.
It just take away some of the hard to breathe and the pain. That's all. But it gain weight. It make you gain
So
weight.
because I've never heard of that disease before.
Yeah, it's
But first thing I do when somebody comes to me with something I don't know about, I go online, I Google the name, Thank God for internet.
Yes.
I Google the name and then I go to PubMed. PubMed give you all the researches. I don't have a laboratory. I don't have a lab. So I take for example, I don't write the Bible, but I listen to what Peter says. So other men who God have gifted in this area and who are honest in their research, I go and read their research. And then even though I read their research, I treat it like a melody. And I spit out the secret. And then I go back to Angel White writing. Seriously.
Yes.
Because she tells you about every part of the body. And then I say, okay, that, and I'll be staying up. Marvin, come to bed. I say, I'm reading. Because I stay up. And I say, okay. And then 2 days after or 3 days after, God give me the answer.
Amen.
Seriously, I'm not lying to you.
Amen.
God give me the answer. So, something like that, I'll try to find out
Yes.
the underlying cause. Because that's the main thing to get rid of it. Like Parkinson's disease, you're going to hear easy this to cure. I've never cured anybody with Parkinson's disease, but because I know God tell me, because a young man at church suffering from it now, and I want to help him. So I went and prayed and studied. And God gave me the answer just like that. Bam. And He will do the same thing to any one of us.
Amen.
True.
But we don't ask, so you don't get.
Wow. Yeah.
You first. Go
Two
ahead.
questions. The clove, do you pour it with boiling water and let it simmer? That's an
Correct.
infusion?
Don't boil the clove. You
You
boil the
don't
water
boil the clove,
and
but
sit
you
the
pour
clove.
it and let it sit. That's okay. What's your take on Honest Wild Yam Cream? Have you used
Wild yam cream.
Yeah.
I know wild yam is good, but I don't know what's in the cream.
Okay. Honest
So I don't know
Wild
what
Yam.
else they mix the wild yam with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So stuff like that I don't use. If I see the ingredients and I know it's good, then I use it. But normally I just buy the wild yam and use it myself.
You just use it?
I just buy the wild yam powder and throw it in my mouth.
Oh, okay. Because they said it
What is it
balance-
for? What is
it for?
The wild yam is they say it's good for cancer, but it's mainly a female issue, hormonal. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
So it helps you to get pregnant if you're trying to get pregnant, or if you're having hot flashes, it helps to calm down the hot flashes.
Okay.
Because they have estrogen. Young lady.
What is wild?
There's a young lady I know that her body overproduces calcium. And because of that, she's always in the hospital because she has to go in for like routine treatment where I'm not sure what the procedure is that they do on her to get rid of the excess calcium that her body is creating. And she's been like that for many, many years. And it's a debilitating thing, but I don't know if you know what the cause of
Body
that.
creates
I don't want
Yes, excessive calcium. Like it's almost in there just calcifying everything, and so she gets to a point where she can't do anything, and she have to go to
And the doctors say it's the body that is creating the calcium,
and
or-
it's in her. So
or she have a lot of calcium in her body and it's calcified, calcifying different things. Calcium deposits.
well, it's not like she's taking calcium, so it's being created somehow.
Right, so no, because the body don't really create calcium like that. So it must have been from the fact that she's been eating certain foods and it caused it. Perfect example. You turn on the pipe, if you keep let it drip, you eat the faucet, you see that thing around it.
That's calcium.
Well, what can she do?
So what you can do to change it, you can use stuff, the same DMSO, break up calcium. You can use coriander, parsley, coriander, parsley, trying to find coriander, parsley, spirulina, chlorella, because those are herbs that are that draw metals and those things from your body. So it chelates the body. So those things will help to break it up from the body. So the person will have to, obviously, I can't just tell you straight off hand because of to find out from the person what they're eating. But obviously the body doesn't just go ahead and make calcium just like that. Because as I just showed you on the thing, 1.8% is in the body. And most of it is in the bone, the rest of it is in the blood. So therefore, what is happening, the body is going through osteoblast, where it's leaking out from the bone and going into
Probably.
the bloodstream. I'm not telling you properly, I'm not a doctor, but I'm telling you that that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the body don't make calcium just like that. So it has to be leaking from the bone, going in there, or the person is eating foods that cause it to calcify.
Yeah. I had that problem because that's when I was finger. Mine was worse, it's getting better. And there was a castor oil soak to put it in the hot water, warm it, put it on for I think 30 minutes, do it for about a month. But mine was worse. I couldn't even, these fingers, they were literally like this. And now I'm able to.
What did
This
you
one
use?
still.
I couldn't hear.
The castor oil.
Castor oil.
But just off the top of my head, and rather than me, something that will work for anybody and for any disease, if she go on a fast, for a juice fast for 3 days, minimum 3 days, she will feel a whole lot better.
That's right.
Because it's going to clean out her body. Minimum, maximum 10 days, minimum 3 days, with a list of different fruits and vegetables, and no food, just juice. Clear out everything. The one in front and then you.
Yes, I would like to know what for arthritis, what do we take for arthritis pain?
Right, good. That's another topic, but as I said, I'll entertain the question. Arthritis. When you come and hear the story, it's going to be a fascinating one. Because how arthritis actually works. Obviously, arthritis trouble the joints, right? The elbow, the hips. And when you go to the doctor, they tell you, oh, yeah, you don't have cartilage, you rub out. And so there's nothing else you can do. Just give it this pin. And it's fascinating thing about it. When they do their research, they will take you and they'll cut you open and they'll put a rubber and give a knee replacement or a hip replacement with iron clean guard. The tissue of your cartilage is made by vitamin C. Vitamin C is what makes cartilages. So if your cartilage is brittle, just increase some vitamin C. When you increase the vitamin C, that's going to help detoxify the body. That's going to help to boost. But then you have normal arthritis, but then you have rheumatic arthritis, which is completely different. One is an autoimmune. So one is the immune system apparently attacking the tissue, which is not really attacking. It's attacking the tissue. It's actually trying to get something out of the tissue. Or it sees something that has a protein sequence similar to something that it already attacked in the past. That's why everybody say your food, what you eat, makes up your body. So some of us have eaten food in the past that the immune system see as a threat. And because it now become a part of your body, your immune system just keep going there every day. Because it sees the tissue, and the tissue of the protein sequence that it attacked a month ago, and it come and see it, but now it's fused into your body. And it said, but I didn't make it last week. Come on. And what's happening? That body starts breaking, and it starts break down. That's what happened. It's as simple as that, honestly. It's people complicated. But the first day I got the book, that's what I wanted to say. A friend of mine in England gave me a book called The Human Body. And I opened it. And I read about the human cell. In school I was good at physics. At Harrison. And then I left and I didn't do physics again. and I looked at the book and I read about the skeleton system. And about the hair. And then I finished reading that and go, God, is that it? That's how simple it is? God says the whole body is cell. That's cell. That's cell. Every part of your body is a cell. Every part of. So God says, this is what you do. Treat those cells like people. You see when you're hungry, it's not you hungry, it's the cells hungry. People with diabetes, what happened? There's high blood sugar.
Yeah.
Because the cells are still hungry and you still feel like eating because you still feel hungry. Because the cells don't get the food that they're supposed to get. It's the cells that are hungry, that's not you. And they just send a message to the brain, I'm hungry, the brain send a message and say, okay, release some of this and release some of that. So God said, treat the cells like people. And if you treat the cells like people, you will know how to feed them and when not to feed them. And you will know what that will agree with them and what not agree with them. And I said, God is Is that it? No, I say, yes, my son. But the people, they take the, don't get me wrong now, send the children to good schools. But do not become a Greek. Jesus, it says of the Greek that they love to learn something new and they love education, but they're ever learning and want not to be with Christ. And we start loving PhD and bachelors and science this and science that, not knowing that if you don't have Jesus,
Have nothing.
and you push your children, get it, man, get it, get it. And then later, he's a doctor, but no Jesus.
No Jesus.
He's a lawyer, but no Jesus. So, all I'm saying, study, show yourself approved, and it doesn't mean just biblical things. It means a body.
Cataract, please. What take care of a cataract?
Or cataract. You know, I'm going to be honest, I'm just starting to look into the eye situation because I'm kind of afraid of blinding people. Do you want me to be honest?
Yes.
So I'm being honest.
Yes.
Amen, thank you.
But from my research
Lemon.
of other people who have helped people with those things, they use, like I heard that it's called eye bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they put it, you boil it and use it, make the water and just put in your eye. And they use also.
DMSO with the
Who tell you about DMSO? Did I tell you?
No, I mentioned it.
Yeah, DMSO, but you mix it
With
to a
the
certain.
hybrid.
You mix it to a certain percentage, about 20, no more than 25%. You mix the DMSO, and it goes in and it removes everything and fixes it back. And even if you're blind, serious pastor. These are things that people are doing.
Yeah.
And the sad thing about it is the church should be doing it. And you have people in the world doing it. Giving back people their sight. Coming to you, the gentleman that they killed, Dr. Sebi, that's what he was doing. He cured people of blindness, Alzheimer, sickle cell, HIV, and they took him to court and said, bring me 5 persons to prove that you did this. And he got 70. With all documentation from their doctors saying, you have this, you don't have that. And the judge let him go. He said, I don't want no one to represent me. I represent myself. And he represented himself. And the judge said, just like a man. But he proved it.
And they kill him afterwards.
You said vitamin C. Do you mean it for us to take the pill, or you mean us to eat the fruit?
Good. You have vitamin C powder. Ascorbic acid is a fake vitamin C. But it does work. But it's a fake vitamin C. But you have a lot of stuff, new stuff coming out now, like, well, like Camu, Amla. These are high potent vitamin C fruits. So you buy them in the powder form. You just take like 2 tablespoons. Yes, please.
What is wild yam?
Preacher, if you give them everything one night, they won't come back.
Exactly.
Give them everything one night, they won't come back. They got every answer.
Tell me exactly what time you want to fish.
9 o'clock.
What time is it?
5 minutes
Yeah.
So entertain 2 more questions.
Okay, all right.
Lady.
All right.
No,
One from my tailor.
no, Pastor, that lady. And I'll say, yes.
Okay.
And I'll take it.
Okay. Ask a question.
What can I do about irregular heartbeat?
Who was I speaking to about that?
No.
Somebody told me that they have,
Irregular heartbeat.
no, they told me that they did an operation. Oh yes, Elder, where is it? Heart, yeah. Irregular heartbeat is lack of potassium. Lack of potassium. It's called arrhythmia. It's lack of potassium. Potassium is what helps the SS node in the heart to regulate power. Lack of potassium.
Coconut water.
Increase your potassium. No, you're going to learn. That's not even enough potassium. The human body needs at least 4,700 milligrams every day.
Whoa.
And I'll explain where you can get it from. Elder.
Yeah, what is wild yam?
Oh, wild yam. Elder, you know, so it's a good question, you know, and I've always asked myself for truth. Is it the same yam like what we eat at Jamaica? Or is it, it's a type of yam that they actually cultivate but I've never actually seen it because I've seen it in powder form, not in the actual farm form. So when I buy it in powder form. But the normal yam, I personally believe the normal yam can do the same thing as the wild yam. That's my belief. But the reason that they don't say it is because they don't research it.
Right.
So I don't have to wait for them to research. I experiment on myself.
I don't have a question.
Yeah. I have a friend who came from stage 4 colon cancer.
Okay.
And
Stage 4 colon.
Stage 4 colon cancer.
They have it now?
Yeah.
They're still alive?
Just came down, yeah.
All right. One for the road. Stage 4 colon cancer. And this is the only time I would use this. Because I don't advocate the use of pepper. For stage 4 colon cancer, any cayenne pepper, habanero, scotch bonnet, you can eat a whole one, grate it on a piece of bread, butter it with some good healthy butter. That's it. You've noticed that this is the only time. Butter, 2 pieces of garlic, and eat that twice a day. Or alternately, same DMSO, and get some flaxseed oil and hemp seed oil, which is omega-3. Chew it with the person have to mix it properly. So I'm not going to say take out the DMSO because they wouldn't know what to do with it.
Take
Take out the DMSO because they wouldn't know what to do with it. So those flaxseed oil, the hemp seed oil, the peppers, blend it out, and garlic, and blend it out. So you use at least 12, the minimum 12 peppers, maximum 24 peppers. Yes, hot. And alternatively, if the person don't want to use pepper, they can use ginger. If the person don't want to use pepper, they can use ginger. But I'm giving you what I know people use and kill and clean stage 4 cancer in 2 weeks.
What about the food grade hydrogen peroxide?
That's I answered faster.
Yeah, but is that?
That can use it. That you can use that in conjunction with that.
Okay.
Where do you get the food grade peroxide?
Bottom line.
Online.
Yeah.
I just want to say something in reference to the DSMO. When they use it, they have to make sure they
I just want to add something in reference to DMSO. When you use it, make sure you wash your hand properly before you use it, because if you're mixing it, anything that you have on your hand, it is going to be pulled into the liquid, and you don't want that. So you're going to contaminate it. Okay, so make sure.
And use it in a glass.
Okay, so this was wonderful. Wonderful. I mean, we have learned something tonight that the doctor would be benefited with about a couple $100,000. Isn't it? But they have, we just scratch the surface. We just scratch the surface. We're going to be thoroughly educated.
Yes.
We're going to have him for 10 days. So, could you come up with your questions again tomorrow night?
Yes.
Yes.
We're going to be here. We're going to bring your notebooks also, because information I'm giving you, and you're not writing them down, it slip by you, and you come back tomorrow and ask the same question. So, bring your own notebooks, bring your friends, because we can help our neighbors, we can help our families, we can help ourselves, and we're going to find out that we are blessed to have a young man like this come here to do that. I'm taking the last question, and after this, please don't put your hand up, because I'm not going to take no more.
No, I'm just asking. The slides are very small. Can you make your slides available?
Yes, I can.
Email or
Say it again.
the slides that you have, your slide PowerPoint slides?
Oh, that's what I
Can you make
said.
it
This
available?
was made like in. You said it's small, right?
Yeah.
But that was made like
It's not very clear.
Me just learning.
Yeah, but can we, through your thumb drive, can we download it?
Yeah, I can give it to you.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So what I'll do, everything that I present is on the laptop. So whenever I finish the presentation, you want it, just ask Marvin to give you that presentation. or if you want to take all the presentation so you can have it ahead, so when you come at night, you can hear and you can follow. I have no problem. It's not my knowledge.
Okay, wonderful. The Lord is good? The Lord is good.